Welcome to the Lantern Webcast. I'm Mallory Trelevin. In top news, former Ohio State football player Ray Small spoke to the Lantern and added a new chapter to the ongoing NCAA investigation surrounding the Ohio State football team and improper benefits. Small told the Lantern that some student athletes don't even think about the NCAA rules. For the full story, visit thelantern.com. On Monday afternoon, 9 people were arrested during an AntiSodexo protest outside of President Gee's office in the lobby of Weigel Hall. We'll now go to Ayan Sheikh with the details.
I'm standing outside of Weigel Hall where 9 protesters were arrested during a sit-in outside of President Gordon Gee's office Monday afternoon. About 100 people gathered for a rally organized by United Students Against Sweatshops to protest OSU's contract with Sodexo. The International Food and Facilities Management Company has a $10 million contract with OSU to provide food and facility services for the athletics department. The student group contends that Sodexo is blocking employee efforts to unionize and allowing racist and sexist practices. Spokeswoman Jennifer Hart told the Lantern the rally appears to be part of an ongoing campaign that a union has launched against Sodexo. The Service Employees International Union denied that. About 40 of the protesters entered Weigel Hall shouting and banging on drums and buckets in an effort to bring Gee out of his office to discuss the contract. 2 OSU police officers blocked the entrance. At one point, officers asked protesters to leave the premises or they'd get arrested for trespassing. 9 protesters refused to leave and were handcuffed by the police. 7 of those arrested were OSU students. All 9 protesters posted bail for $254 and were released by 1:45 p.m. Tuesday. For more information on this story, visit thelantern.com. I'm Ayan Sheikh.
Thanks, Ayan. Weigel Hall, home of the music school, has seen a recent chain of thefts. Sarah Steeman has more on this.
I'm standing in Weigel Hall, where 2 thefts in the last 3 months have left the School of Music and what its director is calling airport mode. Director of the Ohio State School of Music, Richard Blatty, says students should increase awareness of their surroundings and personal belongings. The most recent theft occurred here on May 5th. Blatty sent out an email to all students that very same day, warning them to take caution in Weigel and Hughes halls. Theft victim Nathan Blackwell told the Lantern he left his backpack unattended for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. When he returned, it was gone. The next day, his backpack was found in the trash with everything still in it except for his laptop. OSU police say the other theft occurred on March 15th. Police say they both involved thefts of backpacks and occurred in an unprotected area in Weigel Hall. Now Blatty says he thinks the 2 thefts may be linked, maybe even done by the same offender. Police say they suspect the same thing, but they have since closed the cases since the backpacks were found. Blatty encourages students to be more preemptive and protective in the next few months when in these 2 buildings. He advises students to not leave their belongings unattended at any time for any reason. To find out more information about thefts in Weigel Hall and the School of Music, visit thelantern.com. Reporting for The Lantern, I'm Sarah Steeman.
Thanks, Sarah. On Wednesday, after 25 years on air, fans said goodbye to the Oprah Winfrey Show. Celebrities and former guests of the show came to pay tribute to Oprah at the United Center during her 2-part farewell spectacular on Monday and Tuesday. Despite having big shoes to fill, her 4 p.m. weekday spot will be given to the Dr. Oz Show beginning September 12th. While many speculate that ratings will drop without Oprah, Frank Wilson, director of operations at 10 TV, told the Lantern that it is impossible to predict. We'll now go to Lucy Ramos with a recap of the 7-day World's Longest BBQ.
The World's Longest BBQ, a charity event held by AE Pie, Buckeye Barbecue Club, and Bucks Give Back, ended Monday after 168 straight hours.
AE Pie did a World's Longest Barbecue back in the fall of last year, and they asked for our help because we had the grills and a little bit more expertise, so we offered to help them. They only did a weekend-long event, and then afterwards, we thought it was a really cool idea, so we started planning more concepts in the winter and decided to make it a whole week-long event.
Almost all the money went to the James Cancer Research Fund, Pelotonia's sponsor, and then a little bit of money went to Keshet, which is AE Pie's national philanthropy.
And it was just kind of funny to see the difference between the lunch rush, because that's when business started really picking up around lunchtime, Dinner was a little bit more calmer, but then the late nights when the bars let out, it was just nonstop line for 4 or 5 hours.
Just the first 4 days was pouring rain all the time. It's Ohio, so we're kind of used to it. We fell a little bit short, but we have a lot of improvements made for next year, and we're ready to go.
Next year, I know we want to do it much bigger, like maybe get the whole plaza rented out and do like, maybe, because this year we had a bounce house out here for a couple days, so if we can get cool activities like that, maybe get a sports tournament going on, or like a video game tournament, or just, just other events throughout the week.
Food left over from the world's longest barbecue was donated to the Mid-Ohio Food Bank. While results are still being finalized, the groups are expecting to meet at least the $25,000 they raised during both barbecues last year. Reporting for the Lantern, I'm Lucy Ramos.
Thanks, Lucy. We'll now go to Travis Kozak with an update on the Ohio State men's tennis team and their run in the NCAA tournament.
Following the jubilation of reaching the NCAA men's tennis national semifinal for just the second time in program history, the number 4 seeded Ohio State men's tennis team's impressive run came to a halt on Monday as they lost to number 1 seeded Virginia 4-2. The Buckeyes came out strong early, taking the doubles point to take a 1-0 lead, but then were only able to garner 1 point in the singles matches, that coming from redshirt sophomore Devin McCarthy. Despite the disappointing end to the Buckeye season, Ohio State was able to earn 34 victories, which is 4th most in program history. And although the pain of losing the semifinals was rough, McCarthy said there's plenty to be proud of in this year's season.
Or just getting to Stanford is always a lot better than most of the teams in the country. Especially, we finished how we were supposed to finish. We're the 4th seed going into it, lost in the semis. But at least we got that far, and overall, Coach Tucker was pretty happy with everything we did. Going into next year, mainly the coaches talked about after we lost that you just have to remember that feeling, because that feeling is literally the worst feeling. No one on the team talked to each other for 2 or 3 hours until the captains went around and said, you guys have next year, don't worry about it. So we just have to remember that feeling of losing and remember that we don't want that feeling ever again.
While the OSU men's tennis team's season has come to an end, 4 individuals on the team remained in Stanford, California, and have turned their attention to the start of the NCAA men's singles and doubles championships. OSU's Chase Buchanan, Blas Rolla, and Matt Allaire will be competing in the NCAA singles competition, while Rolla and Buchanan, along with Allaire and Peter Kobelt, will team up for the doubles championship. The tournament began on Wednesday and will conclude on Monday, May 30th. For updates on this tournament and more, head to the Lantern Facebook page and their Twitter page, as well as thelantern.com.
Thanks, Travis. That's all we have for this week. Make sure to check back next week for the last webcast of the year. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you next Friday.